Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament Season 2. I'm your host for... I'm sorry, my mind just shut off for a second there. I'm your host, DeltaTDS, and today for Round 2, match number 52, we've got the returning trainer from Season 1, the Pokemon trainer going up against the Pokemon trainer Conway. We can see that In's brought the Reshiram, as well as a few Pokemon from his seasonal teams, and that Zoroark, and Archeops too. And then we can see that Conway's got quite a diverse team. We've seen Shuckle before do some funny things, as well as a Venonat. Once these trainers are ready, we can begin game number 1 and see who's going to be taking the first win for this match. Starting off with the Slowking and Venonat, and sends out the Ninetales and the Shiftry. Ninetales going to set up the Sun. Shiftry going Terrifier, Venonat going Rage Powder, Heat Wave missing the Venonat, burning the Slowking. Ninetales goes Solar Beam, hitting that Venonat for 6% as Slowking sets up a Trick Room. Switching out the Slowking to the Shuckle, Sleep Powder is going to land on that Ninetales, putting it to sleep. Energy Ball does 29%. Shiftry reveals to have the Life Orb, which I think was revealed last turn, and I just wasn't paying attention. Venonat going for Rage Powder, Shuckle going for Rock Slide, missing the Ninetales. Ninetales wakes up, Heat Wave doing a lot of damage to Venonat, burning it, leaving Venonat on 13% right now, as Shuckle's just barely above half HP. Ninetales going Protect, Shiftry going Protect, blocking that Power Split and the Sleep Powder. Venonat's down to 7%. It's going to live maybe one more burn. Switching out to the Leafeon, Shuckle goes Power Split on the Shiftry. Sleep Powder doesn't affect that Leafeon. Heat Wave takes out the Venonat, and the Trick Room ends. Ninetales reveals to have the Heat Rock, and Slowking comes back out here once again. Slowking goes Terra Dragon, Leafeon with the Solar Blade doing 47%. Heat Wave doing 13% to Slowking, taking out the Shuckle as Slowking sets up another Trick Room. Conway sends out the Aggron, very goated Pokemon, especially its Mega Evolution. Editor, if Aggron Mega Evolves here, put in the wall. No, never mind. Switching out to the Archeops, but revealing to be the Zoroark, Body Press takes out the Shiftry. Aggron reveals to have the Life Orb, and In's gonna send out the Reshiram. Reshiram's got one turn to make use of this Sun, unless, Ninetales comes out next turn. Ice Beam takes out the Zoroark. Head Smash takes out the Reshiram. Never mind, it ain't making use of anything. And In's gonna send out the Archeops and the Leafeon. It's currently 3v4 right now. Conway taking the lead. Ice Beam takes out the Leafeon. Heavy Slam takes out the Archeops. And it's all down to this Ninetales here. Setting up the Sun. Ninetales going Protect against Muddy Water and the Head Smash. Gonna switch in the Doug Trio. Heat Wave takes out the Aggron. Doesn't take out the Doug Trio. But Slowking does come back out here. High Horsepower takes out the Ninetales. And with 3 Pokemon remaining, Conway takes game number 1. We can see the Terra Dragon on the Slowking, as well as the leftovers and the trick room on it as well. We can see the life orb on Aggron, and we didn't see anything from Heracross, and most likely the Eviolite on Venonat. But then from In's team, we didn't see anything from the Reshiram, the Zoroark, or the Archeops. But we did see the Life Orb and Terrifier on Shiftry, and then the Drought and Heatrock on Ninetales. As we set up for game number 2, I'd like to read you a little fun fact. Archeops is the only Pokemon with a base stat total of 567. It is also the only Pokemon whose base stat total matches its national dex number. This number is also part of the Dewey Decimal number 567.9, the number for feathered dinosaurs. Kind of a fun fact, I thought I'd share that today, especially with In's Archeops. We are back on the field for game number 2. We can see that In's brought the Politoed and the Caracosta and the Klinklang, as Conway's brought the Licky Licky Dusklops, and that's the only changes I see. The editor's going to make really nice use of that. He's going to cut out all that, make me seem coherent. Once these trainers are ready, we're going to see if In can take this to game number 3, or if Conway wins match 52 with a 2-0 victory. Starting off with the Politoed and Caracosta, Conway starts off with the Dusklops and Licky Licky. Politoed setting up the rain, Licky Licky's Cloud9 canceling the weather, and then Dusklops with the pressure. Switching out to the Klinklang, Rock Slide misses the Dusklops, hits Licky Licky for about a third, flinching it as Dusklops goes for a Trick Room. Dusklops lands the Will-O-Wisp on Klinklang, Thunderbolt doing 84% to Caracosta, Liquidation does 35, the Life Orb takes out the Caracosta, Gear Grind takes Licky Licky below half HP, as Politoed is sent back out here. Licky Licky going Terra Electric, Dusklops with the Hex doing 48% to Klinklang, Surf hitting everything, doing more damage to Klinklang. Gear Grind takes Licky Licky down to 26%. Politoed going Protect. Hex will finish off that Klinklang. Thunderbolt hits that Protect. There's one more turn of Trick Room remaining as In sends out the Ninetales, changing the weather to sun, but still no effect because of that Licky Licky. Ninetales goes Protect, blocking that Dark Pulse. Thunderbolt not enough to take out Politoed. Surf doing a bit of damage to Conway's team, but the Trick Room does end. Switching out to the Shuckle, Heat Wave doing 20% to Dusklops, encoring the Dusklops as it goes to Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse does take out the Politoed, but now it's not able to set up that Trick Room, which is crucial for Conway's team, seeing as 4 or 5 of his 6 Pokemon are very slow. In's gonna send out the Leafeon. Switching out the Licky Licky, activating Cloud9 once again. Leafeon goes Terra Fire. Heat Wave takes out the Licky Licky as Solar Blade works? Okay, I guess it worked again as soon as okay, that makes sense, because it still was crossed out in the top. Okay, Leafeon with the Solar Blade takes out the Shuckle, and Conway sends out the Dugtrio and the Venonat. Currently 3v4 right now. Conway still has that Trick Room setter in the back. If In can take care of that, then I think he's home free. Solar Blade takes out the Dugtrio. Venonat Toxics the Leafeon, putting it on a 6-turn timer. As Conway sends out the Dusklops now. Venonat going for Rage Powder. Solar Blade doing 21%. Heat Wave takes out the Venonat. Not enough to take out the Dusclops as it sets up that Trick Room. And Conway sends out his final Pokemon, that Aggron. Aggron is a terrifying threat for N's team. In Trick Room, at least. I feel like he'd have an easy time with it outside of it. Ninetales goes Protect. Hex doing 60% to Leafeon as Aggron goes Iron Defense. Solar Blade doing 21% to Aggron. Dark Pulse doing a critical hit to Ninetales. Body Press takes out Leafeon. Heat Wave takes out the Dusclops. And Aggron's left on 19%. And sends out the Reshiram. And the wall comes out! Body Press takes out Ninetales. Heat Wave takes out Aggron. And on one Pokemon remaining, In takes game number 2, which means we are going to a game number 3. From Conway's side, we saw all 4 moves from that Dusclops, being Trick Room, Will-O-Wisp, Hex, and Dark Pulse. We saw the Terra Electric from Licky, as well as the Cloud9. We didn't see anything more from Shuckle that game, or from Dugtrio that game. We saw the Mega Aggron, and then the Toxic on that Venonat. From In's team, we got the Heat Wave on the Reshiram, the Drizzled Politoed, Terrifier from the Leafeon, Life Orb on the Caracosta, and that's about it. Very close game 2, and we are back on the field for game number 3. We can see that Conway's brought back the Slowking, as well as brought the Floatzel as well. Pokemon we haven't seen yet from his team, as In has stuck with that game 2 team, Leafeon being the ace. Once these trainers are ready, we're going to see who's taking match number 52. Will it be In or will it be Conway? In starting off with the Leafeon and Reshiram. Conway starting off with the Venonat and Licky. Reshiram going is devastating Drake on that Venonat, not letting it do anything. Knockoff doing 59%, getting rid of the Assault Vest from that Licky as it goes for Thunderbolt on that Leafeon. Reshiram not putting up with Venonat's nonsense today. Conway's going to send out the Floatzel. Curious to see what this thing does, because usually it's on a rain team. But I don't think any of Conway's Pokemon has Rain Dance or Drizzle. Floatzel going Terra Water. Wave Crash takes out the Reshiram, deals a third of knockback or recoil to Floatzel. Knockoff takes out the Leafeon, reveals the Choice Band. Fire Blast takes out the Leafeon. Licky's the only thing left on the field. Both trainers are down to 4 Pokemon. Conway's gonna send out the Dugtrio. In sends out Ninetales and the Caracosta. Sun not working because of that Licky. Caracosta going Terra Grass. Ninetales goes Protect against that high horsepower. Liquidation takes out the Dugtrio. Thunderbolt doing 20% to Caracosta. And Conway sends out the Slowking now. We do know that this thing does have Trick Room, unless there's a second Slowking. Ninetales goes for the Solar Beam. Caracosta with the Liquidation takes out the Licky. As Slowking gets that Trick Room up and Aggron comes back out here. Aggron gonna Mega Evolve Muddy Water, doing 37% to Ninetales as Aggron goes for Iron Defense. Caracosta with the Earthquake takes out the Ninetales, but deals 32% to Slowking, 10% to Aggron, and Politoed comes out here, setting up the rain. Caracosta going Protect against that Ice Beam. Body Press takes out the Politoed. And Kling comes out here. It's 2v2 right now. Ice Beam takes out the Caracosta. Body Press takes out Klinklang. And Conway on his final 2 Pokemon takes game number 3. Which means he is our winner for match number 52. He'll be going on to round 3 where he'll be facing off the winner of match number 73. Which would be between Cassidy and Komodo. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who Cassidy is. No, Cassidy is the Team Rocket woman. Join us tomorrow where we've got the Pokemon trainer Tani going up against the Pokemon trainer Brendan. It's going to be a good match. Probably see a Primal Groudon. But thank you so much for watching. And until then, take care.